Good morning, Santa Clarita. All right, welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLEAD Schools, Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And if you've listened to our show, you know that our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by SCVi and iLEAD Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school and a burgeoning homeschool program, iLEAD Exploration. You're going to hear a lot about iLEAD Exploration here in just a couple of minutes. But for more information on our virtual schools or our classroom-based charter schools, visit us at iLEADschools.org, and you can peruse all of our campuses, whether they're physical or virtual, and get to know a little bit more about us. Visit us, like I said, at iLEADschools.org. So, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but like our show says, we keep the other eye on the valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's happening here in the valley, and, you know, we do it all while having a lot of fun. You know, I've got that rider in my contract, and no, it has nothing to do with the color of M&Ms, but everything to do with me being able to have a little fun and laugh while I'm working. Told the boss that I'll do anything he asks me to do, but I got to be able to giggle while I'm doing it. Gets me in trouble sometimes, you know, board meetings and other serious events, but you know, if you're not getting in trouble once in a while, you know what I say, you're doing it wrong. So good morning, and thank you for joining us. It's a bit gloomy outside. You know, it was really dark when I walked out of the house this morning, and some precipitation on the car and got me a little gloomy, but boy, did Tori pick me up with a little CCR there at the end of the show to just let us know that it ain't me, it's you, Patty. Alrighty. Anyways, today we've got Laura Kazan. Laura is the college advisor with iLEAD Exploration. Again, that's iLEAD's powerful homeschool program that spans from Kern County to San Bernardino, from the Antelope Valley to Orange. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Matt, homeschool families are on their own. They do the teaching and counseling and everything all by themselves. Well, to you, sir, I would say you could not be more wrong. The level of support and guidance and services and just sheer wraparound care that iLEAD Exploration's homeschool program and staff offers will absolutely knock your socks off, and Laura plays a huge role in that. So we're going to be talking to Laura here in just a couple of seconds. And in hour number 2, we're going to meet Nicole Miller. Nicole is the president of the SCVi School Board, but she's not here as the president of the SCVi School Board. She's going to be here as the president of Zonta Club of California. That's right. She's the president of both. She is maybe what Conor McGregor might call the double prez or the prez. So, so Zonta's got a fantastic 2-day event coming up that you're going to want to attend. It actually sounds really cool. I think I'm going to head out there with my son and I. There's an event that Zonta's putting on that you're going to want to attend. You'll hear more about that in hour number 2. And of course, as we do, we'll be closing the show with Big T. We'll play a little trivia with him and send you off on your weekend with a smile on your face. So here we go. Grab yourself a spot of tea, maybe, a little bit of coffee, and let's spend our Friday mornings together, shall we? And we'll keep our eye on the valley. My first guest today is the college advisor with iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's homeschool division. Laura Kazan hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and started her career in education as an English teacher working in Istanbul. Of course, how else would you start a teaching career? She herself is a parent who homeschooled her own son. She's passionate about providing access to all students and is fulfilled by providing college access points to homeschooling families. Laura, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you for having me back.
It's my pleasure. Like I said, this is not your first time on the show, and you're doing some amazing things with your homeschool families at iLEAD Exploration. But one thing I didn't get a chance to ask you the last time you were on, I mentioned that you're originally from New Mexico, so I wanted to know, how old were you when you got your hot air balloon pilot's license?
I never got on a balloon ever. I did chase one, though, at the Balloon Fiesta, and chased it all over Albuquerque.
I thought that was required growing up in New Mexico, that you get a hot air balloon license, no?
No, it is required, however, that you attend the Balloon Fiesta every October.
Okay, okay. It's funny. I've actually been looking at pictures of Balloon Fiesta with. I've got some cousins that live out in Albuquerque, and their kids really seem to be enjoying that. So lots of fun. Just playing around though. But seriously, very interesting, fascinating. As a matter of fact, you started your teaching career in Istanbul, not in Albuquerque or even Santa Fe. So tell me about that a little bit. How did that happen, and what was that like teaching English in Istanbul?
Well, it's a funny story, but I followed a boy to Istanbul that I met when I worked on a cruise ship.
Like you do, yeah.
Um, yeah, like I do. And I got there, and we're married now. It's been 25 years this year.
Oh,
But I had to find
congratulations.
something to do to support myself and go to a foreign country. And teaching English was pretty big out there. It's a great place for fledgling new English teachers. And so I got a teaching certificate for teaching English while I was there. And I guess you could say education has been my thing ever since.
Yeah, I've actually looked into your background a little bit. You're trained in quite a few things and multifaceted, but so lucky that education did capture your fancy because you're, like I said, doing some great things for our kids at iLEAD Exploration. So now you're back in Southern California. Well, back or you're in Southern California. What drew you to work at iLEAD Exploration, and how did you find us?
Well, I was already involved in the whole homeschool community, and I'd started a Facebook group, and
Hmm.
I was hired directly off of social media, off of my sort of college, the homeschool to college Facebook group where I was really active. And the director from iLEAD approached me and said, "Are you really into that, or do you have time, or would you be willing to come to iLEAD?" And it took me about 5 minutes to say yes. I'm happy to come to iLEAD. So yeah, they found me on Facebook, and here I am.
That's amazing. So somebody reached out on social media and just
Hmm.
recruited you. I know you're very passionate about what you do and outspoken, and so I'm sure you were an easy find and easy to snatch up. So how are you finding the work with iLEAD? Are you enjoying the work that you do with your learners?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I love the learners, and I love the school because I get so much freedom um, to try so many different things to improve access and to get to the students. And so, yeah, I absolutely love the fact that I was recruited, and here I am. I'm really enjoying it.
That's kind of the beauty of charter schools is that we have a little bit more freedom to, like you said, innovate, try new things, and just do what we know is right by our students. It's always interesting. I remember working in a large traditional district several years back, and oftentimes as teachers, as administrators, we knew what was right by kids, but we had to follow, these policies, or this is just the way we have to do things, and we have that freedom in charter schools. You talk about moving around, doing things differently. There's a lot going on with the pandemic and the fallout and everything shifting and changing. There's a lot of upheaval in education recently, and I've actually had a few friends who know that I work in charter schools and have reached out to me about PSAs, about talking about opening up their own homeschool and things like that. But can you talk a little bit about some of the benefits of homeschooling through a charter and maybe homeschooling specifically with iLEAD Exploration rather than doing it on your own as an individual? Obviously, as an individual, you've got that opportunity to do pretty much everything that you want. But what's the difference? What would be the benefits of anchoring your homeschool experience through a charter?
So I'm a little biased because I homeschooled my own son through a charter,
Okay.
and off he went to college. So I think charters are the way to go. And I think that one of the biggest differences, and of course I'm on the high school side, so
Hmm.
so people will tell you different things about being younger, but I'm on the high school side. And I think one of the biggest differences is the amount of support that you get for the whole college process. PSA, as we call them, private school affidavit, and even PSP, private school satellite programs, which are more of the traditional homeschool side, There's a lot of work you have to do to prepare to even have your child apply to college. And we do a ton of that work for the parent. You have to write your own transcripts. You have to write your own course descriptions. You have to write your own counselor letters. You have to do all of the things that our high school team does. And I just think it's a better way to go. You know, there's this debate in the whole homeschool community. No, PSA is better. You have more luck. No, a charter's better. You know what? Both ways work.
Uh-huh.
Both ways have the same result. But the amount of work you have to put in and the hoops sometimes that you have to go through when you file a PSA are it's significantly heavier than if you are with us, especially with us at iLEAD, because we have such a strong counseling team that writes those letters and things like that. So definitely we're the way to go.
So, and I would say I could just take the description that you gave in the area of counseling and spread that across all the different support and services that you might need as a family who's homeschooling your children. You know, if you come up against something that you're struggling with, you've got this huge network of professionals that you can reach out to and say, hey, I need support with this. If it's just regarding math instruction, or if your kids are looking for a social outlet, gosh, anything that could come up, you can just reach out to your what we call EFs, educational facilitators. That's your credentialed teacher that's there to support you, and they will provide just this huge litany of support in the areas of counseling or anything else that can come up. So you've got this. It's almost like I see this, like a State Farm commercial or something like that. You're the homeschool family, and you've got this network of literally hundreds of people standing behind you, ready to support you. So thank you for that. So let's talk a little bit about your specific role, Laura, as the college advisor. I said in the intro, we think of homeschool families kind of being out there on an island. So. It can be hard to reach out. You don't have kids coming into your office every single day like we would think of at a traditional high school campus. So what's your role? What does your job look like? And how are you able to reach out to your learners to get them prepared for and going off to college?
Well, one of the things I want to really, really stress is that my role is not on an island either. I'm part of the high school team. Mm-hmm. And so, the core of the high school team would be the two counselors, our fearless coordinator, and myself. And so as part of being that team allows us to share students, to bounce students, and not bounce them away, but bounce them to each other. But a lot of times the counselors will send the students to me. So they'll have their usual graduation checks. They're working with the student, and they say, you've got to go to the counselor now and talk about college. So a lot of it comes through kind of teamwork. The EFs all refer the students to me, and then we try to do an incredible amount of outreach through newsletters, through webinars, through just trying, and we still get students that don't know we're there, and we're working really hard to pretty much try to get access to every student to let them know that we exist and we're here to help. So that's actually one of the difficult things, is to let people know that we are here. But once they find us, we start seeing them all the time. So they come back a lot and talk to us and let us help them.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. Yeah, outreach is obviously going to be a huge portion of your role, because there is. I talk to people and believe it or not, I don't know if your ears were burning, but I've talked about you and the work that you do in our organization. And I do have some families that still fall under that misnomer or that myth about homeschooling kids, that homeschooling kids typically aren't college-going kids, that they don't go to college. They finish homeschool and go into the workforce or do whatever it is that they're going to do. So can you talk to us about that? Why is that a myth, and how are you kind of breaking those barriers down?
Well, the big myth is that homeschoolers go to community college only. That's the prevalent myth here in California. And that's how I actually ended up doing what I'm doing. My very first day ever joining the kind of Southern California homeschool community Facebook, of course, I was joining a group, and the person came out to say, hey, I'm from Long Beach, too. I'm from Long Beach. And I said, I'm homeschooling my son. I'm brand new. He's in middle school right now, and I really think this is the best option for him so that he can, go to college. Better than I pulled him out of the traditional school, out of our local public school, and she said, oh, homeschoolers don't go to college. They go to community college actually having worked at a college and knowing some homeschoolers who are not really part of this community, but kind of outside the community, I knew this was wrong, and it really shocked me. And that was my first introduction as a brand new parent to homeschooling, was your kid can't go to college. Somebody told me that. That was the first thing they said.
Wow.
And I think that's one of our biggest problems, especially in this Southern California community, is that parents are telling other parents that kids don't go to college. And I think that is the biggest problem.
So I was going to ask you how you got started into learning about college accessibility, but I'm wondering now, was that the gauntlet that was thrown down? Because I know your spirit, Laura. Was that the not the discouragement, but the challenge of your kid can't go to college? Oh, yeah? Watch this. Is that how you got started?
Actually, I got started long before that in graduate school when I was working towards my PhD. And the area that I started, I kind of fell into, was the whole college accessibility, college access in general. So I already had a really strong knowledge of some of the barriers that all kids have to get into college. And so when I stepped in here, I saw some of the same systemic barriers in the homeschool community that I saw outside the community. And so my brain was already there, the knowledge was there, the research was there. I was just seeing it in my backyard. I was seeing it on my plate. And so, yeah, that's basically how the gauntlet went down. I knew it was wrong.
Right. And, you talk about those barriers. Those barriers have shifted a lot lately, and I want to talk about those. Laura Kazan joins me this morning. She is the college advisor with iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's homeschool division. When we come back, Laura, I want to talk about applications and requirements and the process that you follow with your students and the way things are shifting recently. So let's do that when we come back. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
Consumers Furniture Gallery is closing its doors after serving Santa Clarita families for 43 years. It's their going out of business sale. Everything in the store must go. Consumers Furniture Gallery has been beloved by our valley for 3 generations. Consumers will complete all existing and new orders even after the sale is over. They must sell all remaining products during their massive going out of business sell-off. Take advantage of this opportunity. Consumers Furniture on Golden Triangle Road in Soledad. ConsumersFurniture.com.
The City of Santa Clarita invites you to the grand opening of the new Canyon Country Community Center on Saturday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon on the corner of Soledad Canyon Road and Sierra Highway. Explore the new community center, watch live entertainment, learn about program opportunities, and have fun at this free event. For more information, visit santa-clarita.com. That's santa-clarita.com. We'll see you on Saturday, October 30th. In today's world, we need to take extra care of our bodies. We need strong immune systems, and Bisalay can help. Bisalay is a vegetable supplement packed with minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory ingredients, like bromelain, which helps protect the body from viruses and harmful bacteria by boosting your immune system. All-natural Bisalay can also improve your overall health with vitamin C, D, and zinc. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and allergen-free. Try it today. Go to Bisalay.net. That's BSOLEIL.net and start taking care of yourself today.
When you think about your next place, maybe even your forever place, are you hearing more of this and less of this? Introducing 5 Point Valencia, a vibrant new community coming to the Santa Clarita Valley. A place with parks, trails, and fresh architecture, all tuned to the way people want to live today. New homes for all, with prices to match, from the low 400,000s to over $1 million. Learn more at Valencia.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. This morning, we're talking to Laura Kazan, the college advisor with iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's homeschool division. And, you know, you'd be blown away to hear about the level of services that she's providing to her homeschoolers. You know, Laura, my son is 19 years old, and like like most kids his age, he's really been kicked around a lot lately, and he and his friends have been starting to question the relevance of a college education in 2021, especially with the pandemic. You know, my son, he kind of missed his senior year, and then his freshman year in college, he spent, you know, basically in the bedroom and doing his classes online. And he and his friends are starting to wonder, you know, maybe college just isn't the right thing anymore. It was good for my parents, but why is college important for young people? And why is it that you work so hard to make sure that all of our iLEAD Exploration learners have that option, whether they choose to go through that door or not?
I have a 19-year-old son, too, and he spent his first year of college on Zoom school as well. So I understand, I kind of understand that whole despair and questioning that students have. Mine is overjoyed to be at college, so that's not happening there, but that's probably because I'm always talking about how great college is and how important it is. And so you know, there's a lot of debate about whether college is still relevant, and it is. I mean, you can even go, if you look at lifespan, those that attended college live longer. If you look at income over time, those that have gone to college earn a higher income in the long run. If you look at general well-being, those that go to college, they're you know, just physically better. And it's kind of funny because I could tell you that personally. My husband's a plumber, and it's really tough now being a 51-year-old plumber as opposed to being an 18, 19-year-old plumber. So there's a lot of reasons to go to college, and I just I kind of cringe whenever I hear people say, you know, it's not relevant anymore. It's extremely relevant to understand everything that's going on around us, to be able to question, to have that critical thinking, so that you can make choices, so that you understand what you're seeing, so that you it's vast life improvement. And I can't sing the praises enough. I mean, there's so many directions we can go in this conversation about why it's important. It brings kids out of poverty. Mm-hmm. It offers the ability for people to choose a variety of life options that may not be there without that college degree. And so you've hit kind of one of my areas of importance of trying to also dispel that myth that college isn't relevant anymore. It's exceptionally relevant.
And You're absolutely right about bringing families and generations, entire sectors out of poverty. In fact, I was looking into college going trends, and it was kind of the post-war era with the GI Bill that got the general masses going to college for the first time, that really turned our country into what it is today. So
Absolutely.
application season is upon us, right? It is the fall, and seniors are scrambling to get into colleges and universities. So what are some of the schools that our iLEAD Exploration learners are applying to this fall?
Well, they're still, most of them, finalizing their list.
Okay.
And this is the panic time where do I have the right things on my list? Do I? And so we have the usual suspects. We have the Cal State University system, the Cal Polys and the Cal Long Beaches and the St. Marcoses and the every place else. And then we have the UCs. And of course we have kids applying up and down the state to the various UCs, University of California.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Western Undergraduate Exchange. I don't know if people know what that is, but we're part of a 16 state and territory tuition exchange where kids can go to a variety of public schools in the Western United States at a significantly discounted tuition cost, which sometimes is better than staying in-state. My son is actually at we call it WUI, Western Undergraduate Exchange School. And so this is something I bring up a lot with our students. So we have students that are starting to look and apply to WUI schools, which are public schools in Western states. And so we've got a lot of that. I'm a big fan of self-directed and kind of alternative style schools. So I know we have a few students looking at Hampshire and a few of the kind of different schools. And then we have all the usual stuff. We have one student I'm really excited. He's going through a program called QuestBridge, which is specifically for high-achieving lower-income students to give them a full ride to our nation's top schools. And so we have a student looking at some of the most selective and most well-known schools as well. So we are covering every aspect of the school options in the United States. And I'm even talking to students that are, preparing to look at schools abroad. I mean, it's everywhere. Our kids are going everywhere.
Across the spectrum, across the world. That's great. So I want to go back. Did you say this arrangement that California and some of these Western schools have? Did you say it's Louis schools? Is that what they are?
The Western Undergraduate Exchange, W for Western, so it would be WUI.
WUI. Okay, I see. The Western Graduate Exchange. Okay. Because there's another myth out there about going or sending your kid to college is send them to state school, it's a lot cheaper, or send them to in-state schools because it's a lot cheaper. My son applied for a couple of different schools, ended up choosing San Francisco State, but it would have been actually cheaper for him to attend a private school in Pennsylvania because they worked so hard to get him in, and they will match different things and offer different scholarships or breaks on tuition, and now you're saying with this this conglomerate arrangement of schools within the region, you can even go to public schools at an in-state tuition or even a little bit better than what we would consider in-state tuition. So it's kind of a misnomer. Send your kid to the in-state public school; it'll be cheaper, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're singing my tune here. My son, I have two different situations. I have an older son that applied in-state and out-of-state, and all but one private school came in lower than UCLA and Berkeley. And so he went to Oregon, and he's now in North Carolina at graduate school. And then I have my second one that never even thought about a California school, and he is at a WUI school in Washington, and I'm paying significantly less than if he had stayed in state. So absolutely, my goal is to see if I can beat the state rates. And nice. There's different strategies. And a lot of people don't know the average tuition discount if you average schools together throughout the United States is about 52%, a little bit more now. And every year it gets bigger. So it was 49%, now 52%. The discounts in tuition that private schools are offering to students. So yeah, absolutely, we can beat that.
Yeah, so if you've got a kid in high school, make sure you get connected with your college advisor. Laura Kazan is the college advisor for iLEAD Exploration. That's iLEAD's burgeoning homeschool program. Laura, so you're doing an amazing job and you're getting these kids sent off to college. Now, do you hear back from them, kids who have graduated from Exploration that are now in college? What are you hearing, if indeed you are hearing back from them? How's it going off in college for them?
Well, remember we're a fledgling school, so
Right.
the number of seniors that graduate gets bigger and bigger every year. So I've been here 2.5 years, so I don't have anyone who started with me and has gone fully through college and
Okay.
has come back. So I only know the kids that are there now, and I'm hearing a lot from the parents because those are who I'm kind of still in touch with. Kids are off,
That's a good point.
and I'm hearing good things. One of our students is at a WUI school. I'm very excited. She didn't know about that until we chatted at a back to school event, and off she went to Reno. We have kids at the UCs. I've already heard back from UCLA. We have one at UCLA, and she was working on getting her classes together, and she touched base with me. We've got one at University of Texas who I just spoke to, and they're doing great. But to be honest, they're done with us. They've moved on, and they want to enjoy their new lives. And so I talk to their parents, and I hear how they're doing more than I talk to them, because they've moved on. They're excited. They're having fun. Why would they want to talk to us?
Well, because we're cool people. You and I talked about that before the show.
We are
So that's
cool
fair.
people, but we're old people, and so they're ready. They're done. They
Yeah.
want to. They've flown.
Yeah, but
They're
I'm glad to
I'm
hear
just
they're
saying,
succeeding.
their parents have given us feedback, and the feedback has been extremely positive.
There we go. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so now, even before the pandemic, colleges they started to shift, right? They started shifting what their entrance requirements were, and even more so for kids that are seniors right now with everything that we've been through over the last couple of years. There's a lot of schools that aren't requiring SAT tests, for example. Can you talk to us about some of the shifts that you're seeing for young people applying to college and how maybe the pandemic has affected those changes?
I don't know if you know that I was actually part of the group. There were a group of attorneys and plaintiffs that actually went up against the University of California system
I did not know.
to bring testing down. I was actually part of that whole process to make the University of California system and the CSUs follow, of course, test-free. We call it test-free. It used to be called test-blind, but the language is more appropriate to be test-free. So the University of California, they switched. They are now completely test-free, and as California goes, so does the rest of the nation. So I think that while things were starting to turn right before the pandemic to a test optional where a student can make a choice to send in an SAT or ACT, the pandemic really sped that up. And it gave students the option to apply without the gatekeeping of testing. And it was so successful this first year in bringing students who may never have considered college, students who may never have considered a specific college, especially with the University of California system. It just exploded with students that like they've never seen, with the access just blew up.
Yeah,
it just blew up, and
it always fascinated me that colleges would always talk about, and I believe them, that they were always looking for ways to diversify the populations that they had on campus. They wanted a rich, diverse population of students on campus, and it always resounded in my ear what they didn't follow that up with, which was students, of course, that can do well on this one test. And with that going away, we really are opening up what colleges have said they wanted all along. And so it's doing great things for kids. It's doing great things for colleges. So thank you for your advocacy on that, and great job. So Laura, what does it look like? Can you talk to us a little bit about the process that you typically go through with your families? You mentioned before it starts with outreach, because not all of our homeschool families know that you and your amazing services are there. So how do you engage your learners, and then what is the process that you take them through?
I'm going to go back to that. We're a high school team with 2 counselors and a fearless leader. So it is all 4 of us working on getting these students in. The counselors do a lot of the college aspect too. They write the letters of recommendation. They make sure the students are college ready. One of the things that I've done is I've created a few things that are unique to iLEAD. I actually have a class for 11th graders, an A through G class that can go on their transcripts, and if they just do everything, it's an easy A. Don't tell anyone I said that. And it's an entire year of college. It's called College Explorations, and it's an entire year of college explorations. And so I started that to try to get the process going earlier so that we had a less stressful senior year. I am doing a whole webinar series also throughout the entire year that's twice a month to get people more knowledgeable about the whole process so that it's easier for them, so that they are jumping into the process much earlier, so that parents are a little less freaked out. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. And then I do a lot of one-on-one work. So I just basically have a calendar. You sign up, you walk into my box, otherwise known as my computer. And I just work on the whole process as often or as little as a student wants. And I have students that schedule every week. They meet with me every week, and we do essays and look at colleges. And I have students that check in when something blows up, and I help them with some technical stuff. I get a lot of that. I get a lot of that on Thanksgiving and during the winter break. And that's okay. I want to get kids to college.
Yeah. So it's all about knowing and understanding, and Laura Kazan is there to help her kids at iLEAD Exploration get into college. She's the college advisor for iLEAD's Homeschool Rockstars. For more information about our innovative and completely customizable homeschool, go to iLEADexploration.org. That's iLEADexploration.org. We do need to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We will be back. You're listening to SCVi and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on New Hall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
The City of Santa Clarita invites you to the grand opening of the new Canyon Country Community Center on Saturday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon on the corner of Soledad Canyon Road and Sierra Highway. Explore the new community center, watch live entertainment, learn about program opportunities, and have fun at this free event. For more information, visit santa-clarita.com. That's santa-clarita.com. We'll see you on Saturday, October 30th.
Pumpkins are back in Santa Clarita, a short ride up Bouquet Canyon. It's Gilchrist Farms Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch with pumpkins and more pumpkins. Open from 9 till 6 daily in October, the festival is full of pony rides, farm animals, live entertainment, farm crafts, archery, and pig races. Book your professional photo session in the Pumpkin Patch. Learn how to milk a goat, gather eggs, and pick your perfect Halloween pumpkin. Nostalgia's return to Santa Clarita at Gilchrist Farm.
For details, visit gilcrestfarm.com.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers and Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
Mark Schneider and daughter Kaylee for Pacific Air.
Okay, team. I called this meeting to look at new ways we can super serve our Pac Air customers. Matt, what do you got for us this week?
We're educating customers about how to improve their comfort and lower their energy bills by investing in better attic insulation. The Department of Energy reports that homeowners can be more comfortable and reduce heating and cooling costs by up to 50% just by improving their attic insulation. That's why Pacific Air's team created the WOW Comfort Attic Package. Our WOW Comfort Attic Package is a 4-step attic solution to help solve the problem of poor attic insulation.
Great. I love the way we're always educating and improving our WOW service that we give our customers. Remember, team, here at Pacific Air, our goal is to always give service so good, they're going to say, okay, Kaylee.
Wow!
For the guys in the orange truck, that's Pacific Air. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
For questions about our Wow Comfort Attic Package and your attic, contact us today at pacair.com. PACAIRE.com. Remember, without the E, it's just air.
Santa Clarita now has its first comprehensive outpatient rehab facility. RenewMed's multidisciplinary team includes physicians, respiratory, physical, and occupational therapists, as well as social service professionals to provide superior therapy and customized treatment. Whether you've got COPD, COVID complications, or are keen on preventing a fall, they can assess your challenges and help you feel better. RenewMed on Lyons Avenue, just north of the 5. Visit RenewMedSCVi.com. That's RenewMedSCVi.com.
Want to laugh at TMJ and that obscenely overpriced bike guard? Discover the 3 most common mistakes that must change to stop TMJ for good. Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Palucki, and WebMD chooses me as best chiropractor and functional medicine in Santa Clarita. Something to think about. So, when you're ready to get better, go to drpalucki.com. That's drpollucki.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. Just wrapped up a great conversation with Laura Kazan. Laura is the college advisor with iLEAD Exploration. That's iLEAD's homeschool program. She's doing amazing things by our kids in exploration. And if homeschool is something that you've been looking into, you know, maybe winds have shifted and you're feeling obligated to do something that maybe you don't want to do, and it's time to look into homeschool. Check out iLEAD Exploration at iLEADexploration.org for a completely customizable and fully supported homeschool program. Today is Friday, October 8th, 2021. So let's celebrate the holidays, shall we? I love the holidays, don't you? I love the major holidays and the minor ones, except for Halloween. Don't care much for Halloween. Yeah, I know, hot take, controversial. What can I say? I like to feel loved and not scared. I like to laugh and not scream. So I'm a bigger fan of Thanksgiving. I got my friend Mickey Singer here texting me. I'm sure she's giving me business about the Giants-Dodgers tonight. She lives up in the Bay Area. We may have some time to talk about that later. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Thanksgiving, but I also love like National Balloon Day or something like that. So let's take a look at holidays. We've got 5 holidays today, and I'm excited to celebrate. Today is National Pierogi Day.
Yay!
Pierogies are a type of dumpling, and let's see, they're Polish, unleavened dough, boiled.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, never mind. Are you a pierogi fan?
I am Polish and a pierogi fan, so I'm like,
hey-o. Don't mean to insult you. Patty, happy National Pierogi Day.
My dad loves them.
You know, okay, all right, go ahead and celebrate with Dad. Don't mean to rain on your parade. I've never had a pierogi. And
They're good.
All right, very cool. Today is also National Fluffernutter Day. That's a peanut butter and marshmallow cream sandwich. Yeah, that's gross. Skip. So October, let's move on. Love the holidays, Patty. October 8th is American Touch Tag Day. You know, tag your.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, is this all we've got? Okay, no, moving on. We've got a couple more. It is International Off-Road Day. I mean, okay, off-roading's cool, but is it a holiday? I don't know. It seems more like what you do for the holiday. I don't know.
Seems like it's just normal driving.
Right?
Hey-o,
hey. Here's a good one. Today is National Hero Day. I like this. National Hero Day honors the people we look up to and who inspire us to be the best person we can possibly be. You know, peace officers, medical professionals, teachers, firefighters, activists. Patty, who's your hero?
Batman.
All right. So, celebrate Batman today and try to emulate him, maybe. So whoever your hero is, take some time to honor them, to thank them today. You can give them a shout out on social media. Pay their bill if you run into Batman at the coffee shop or the restaurant. Bake them some cookies, write them a letter, let them know how much you inspire them and appreciate them. Also a good day to be a hero in someone else's life, you know. Give blood, volunteer, donate to a charity, organize a fundraiser, read somebody a book, reach out and connect with someone and be someone's hero today. It is National Hero Day. Speaking of heroes, stick around. When we come back, we've got the double pres, Nicole Miller, coming up, president of Zonta and the SCVi School Board. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
You might not know the difference between a fade, a pompadour, a cropped fringe, or faux mohawk, but the Sport Clips Guys Smart Stylists sure do. We know you don't think about haircuts 24/7. That's Sport Clips' job. That's why Sport Clips specializes in haircuts for men and boys. Sport Clips has turned something you have to do into something you want to do. You don't ever need an appointment at Sport Clips, and you'll walk out feeling like an MVP. Guaranteed. Sport Clips at the Santa Clarita location nearest you.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family-friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family-friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
A Royal Suite Home Furnishings has been family-owned and operated in Santa Clarita since 1978. They keep America working by stocking heritage-quality furniture made right here in the USA. With high-end design and thousands of fabrics to choose from, a Royal Suite offers a wide selection of furniture at incredibly low prices. Pay 0% interest with your approved credit for 12, 24, 36, or 48 months. See store for details. Visit A Royal Suite, massive showroom on Carl Boyer Drive near Sam's Club in Santa Clarita.
A Royal Suite.
Sweet dreams.
With locations throughout the valley, Providence offers the most advanced technology and therapies for treating cancer in Southern California. Call 1-888-HEALING for your annual checkup or second opinion. The road to healing leads to Providence.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
We'll get President Biden's 2 cents soon. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. He's set to speak about the September jobs report, which was another big miss. 194,000 jobs created, less than half what analysts were expecting.
The second straight month of disappointing jobs growth, possibly weighed down by people reluctant to return to work, also supply chain bottlenecks. Some sectors seeing the biggest gains, leisure and hospitality, adding 74,000 positions, professional and business services with 60,000, and retail increasing by 56,000. The unemployment rate fell sharply to 4.8%, a new pandemic low. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
That dip in the unemployment rate attributed to more people leaving the workforce. In other words, not working or not looking for a job, so they're not counted. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh says there's more work to do. The Republican National Committee is seizing on the report to slam the president's agenda, calling it Build Back Broke instead of better. A trio of cabinet secretaries are visiting Mexico.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, and Attorney General Merrick Garland are in Mexico City today for high-level dialogue with Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador and his staff on international security matters, including preventing trans-border crime. Though part of their session is said to be dedicated to discussing resuming the Trump-era Remain in Mexico protocol, which was said to stem migrant traffic. That policy was done away with by the Biden administration, and since then, tens of thousands of illicit border crossings have taken place.
Fox's Eben Brown. Vice President Kamala Harris, tapped by the president to address root causes of mass migration, is in New Jersey at a roundtable event on federal investment in child care as part of the push for the president's economic agenda. America is listening to Fox News.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Whew. For advice on solutions like XPS 13 laptops powered by Intel Evo platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate, with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
A soldier stationed in North Carolina now faces multiple charges in Georgia, accused of killing the mother of his unborn child.
Murder, feticide, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime.
Troup County Sheriff's Captain Kelly Ellington says Alonzo Dargan shot Akila Ware and then ran her off the road. That investigation continues. Americans agree on at least one thing in a new poll.
95% of Americans agree that misinformation problem and blame social media companies and the people that use them. That from the Pearson Institute AP-NORC poll. The poll notes that bipartisan agreement among Americans on disinformation could spell trouble for tech giants like Facebook. During a congressional hearing this week, senators vowed to hit Facebook with new regulations after a whistleblower testified that Facebook manipulates misinformation and content that harms children. The poll also shows 38% of Democrats and 61% of Republicans blame the spread of false information on the federal government.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg denies putting profits over safety and well-being and says the company's internal research has been mischaracterized. Even for the biggest Lego fans, this should be a bit of a challenge. The biggest set yet, modeled after the Titanic.
The impressive build involves a whopping 9,090 pieces, with the brick model measuring over 4 feet long when built. The block recreation also features cross-section building to allow views of the grand staircase, boiler room, and more. Just in time for the holidays, pre-orders for the set begin November 1st, but it will set aspiring brick masters back a bit as it carries a recommended price tag of over $600. Lauren Faulkner, Fox News.
Stocks are mixed and fluctuating. The Dow's up 14 points. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks have been looking for direction after a weaker than expected September employment report. There were just 194,000 new jobs created last month, the slowest growth of the year. The unemployment rate declined to 4.8%, but that's because of people leaving the workforce. The numbers add to concerns that COVID and global supply issues are impacting hiring. Public school employment declined last month. Levi Strauss shares are higher. The company says it's not as impacted as other companies by supply chain issues because its manufacturing is across 24 countries. McDonald's will be giving out free breakfast thank you meals to teachers and school staff starting Monday through next Friday. A valid work ID is needed to get the meal. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the work.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
SCVi is a tuition-free TK through 12 charter school that gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely. We offer a customized learning program built around your child's unique interests and strengths, with the only international baccalaureate program in all of Santa Clarita. Our approach keeps students and families in step no matter where your learning is taking place. Be empowered to make your mark on the world at SCVi. To take a tour or enroll now in our one-of-a-kind program, visit iLEADSantaClarita.org. iLEAD Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Summer is here. Why not cool off with a new Dunkin' Refresher? Choose from lemonade, green tea, or coconut milk with strawberry, peach, or blueberry flavor. Limited time offer, only $3 for a medium-sized drink. Dunkin' also has new all-day sandwiches and new donut varieties. Order ahead with the Dunkin' app and accumulate points. Located on Bouquet Canyon in the Lowe's Shopping Center and on Sierra Highway in Canyon Country, both with curbside pickup, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates, or use the drive-thru at Sierra Highway. Santa Clarita runs on Dunkin'.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Hey, this is Kyle with your hometown station weather. An okay day weather-wise. Some drizzle with cloudy skies throughout the day. Highs in the 60s. Overnight lows going to be in the 50s. Enjoy your day here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. We are coming to you live from the KHTS studios here at the center of Main Street in beautiful downtown Newhall. A little bit gloomy, a little bit dark, but it looks like the sun is trying to peek through. It's going to be a nice early fall holiday weekend here in downtown Newhall. My next guest today is Nicole Miller. Nicole has been a lifelong volunteer and loves getting out there to support her community. Over the last 10 years, she has supported and volunteered for her son's school, Santa Clarita Valley International Charter School, mentoring the Lego robotics team and leading parent volunteers through various parents' organizations. Since 2018, Nicole has been a member of the school's governing board and president of the school's governing board at SCVi since 2020. Nicole also volunteers with the Zonta of Santa Clarita Valley, aiding their mission of improving the lives of women and girls through service and advocacy. As president of the club and past president of their foundation, Nicole is a leader in the development of the service and advocacy projects they do and is integral in the strategic direction of the club. As president, Nicole is also a representative of the Zonta of SCVi locally and internationally, most recently as a delegate at Zonta's district conference. Nicole previously enjoyed success working as a pension benefits assistant manager with the Producer Writers Guild of America pension plan. Nicole holds a BA degree in mathematics from Hamilton College. She lives in Castaic with her husband Tad, her son Keen, their 2 Siamese cats, and a bearded dragon. Nicole, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely, and thank you for all of your advocacy and community work. So, first off, like I said, you're not only the president of Zonta, but you're also a parent and president of the school board at SCVi. So tell us a little bit about what brought your family to SCVi. Why did you guys choose us?
Yeah. Well, we wanted something a little bit different for our son. We wanted him to go to a school where we felt like his curiosity and personality were really encouraged. He was the kid that at like 2 years old was taking apart his toys and putting them back together just to see how they worked. He really liked to dive deep into what he learned. And when I was talking with other families about SCVi, and what they were doing there, we immediately wanted him to be, supported and encouraged in that same way that those other families were. I'm super proud at this point to say that he has been at SCVi and grown there from kindergarten all the way to this is his first year of high school with SCVi.
Yeah, I love that. It's always it just really fascinated me, and I've really enjoyed that SCVi is a comprehensive school. Meaning we have actually transitional kindergarten through 12th grade. So what has that meant to you and your family that your son can attend the same school from kindergarten now through 9th grade, and then he'll eventually continue on and graduate high school? What does that mean to be able to attend the same school his entire career?
Well, truthfully, when we were thinking about it when he was starting kindergarten, we didn't think about that. It wasn't really a factor when he started kindergarten. We were only thinking about kindergarten at that point. I think that's pretty common of most parents. I think kind of the more important question is, why have we stayed, right? He's in high school this year, and, I think that SCVi's focus on social emotional learning has been really one of the key points and one of the key reasons why he has stayed. Most schools are realizing the importance of that now, which is great, but SCVi has been focusing on that for 10 years now, over 10 years. Those social emotional learning skills, they speak directly to being a good human and contributing to your community. In addition to the social emotional piece, I think the facilitators, the teachers at SCVi are just second to none, in my opinion. Every single year, the facilitators, they just amaze me. They treat the kids with respect, and they help each kid know their value. They help them feel important. They help them to really understand that what they do, what, the child does matters. There are, I feel like every year they see my son. They see who he is and who he can be. And, that's the top value for me. There's a lot of other super cool things about high school that made us go back, specifically for upper school. The CTE pathways are super cool and interesting to him. Theater arts program is really interesting to him. But, I think the number one reason that he stayed is the people.
You do mention that, and it's interesting. I think most SCVi families and staff members, they have an answer to both of that questions. Why did you come and why did you stay? So if you're listening and you run into a family at SCVi, ask them both of those questions. Why did you choose SCVi and why did you choose to stay? Nicole, that's a really heartwarming answer, and we appreciate that. But then you went, I was going to say one step, but probably about 5 steps beyond being a family at SCVi and chose to join the school board, eventually becoming president last year. Why is that something that you were encouraged to do?
Well, as you've already heard, I was always involved, not only in volunteering through the theater program, in the classroom, the Lego robotics program, but I kind of always found myself leading volunteers and kind of being a voice among the parents, while we were working together with the school leadership. And when a position on the board opened up, I just thought this was a new way to help support and serve the school. And I was already, working with school leadership, and I was already using my voice at the school. And so it just seemed like a really good fit to me. And truth be told, I was excited about the challenge of learning about board governance and putting Robert's Rules of Order into practice. So, to me, that little piece of the protocol and the order was appealing as well.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, those can get frustrating to board members sometimes, but yeah, they are really important. So, gosh, I could go on and on about SCVi and your experience there, but we're not here to talk about SCVi this morning. We're here to talk about the other way that you're leading volunteers and supporting your community. I want to talk to you about your role with the Zonta Club this morning. So tell me about that. What is Zonta? What is it that you guys do?
Well, Zonta's mission, as you also heard, is to empower women through service and advocacy. That's the meat of the mission, if you will.
Okay.
We envision a world in which women's rights are recognized as human rights, and every woman is able to achieve her full potential. In such a world, what that means is that every woman has access to all resources and is represented in decision-making positions on an equal basis with men, and that also no woman lives in fear of violence.
So important. Gosh, so I know Zonta goes back a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the organization, both internationally and then here locally?
Yeah. Zonta International's been around for 102 years now. It was established in 1919 in Buffalo, New York. It was, at that time, an organization of professional women that were holding exclusively executive positions.
Oh, cool.
It was kind of similar to the Kiwanis model of a service club.
Okay.
And our local club, the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita Valley, was established in 1974. So we've been around for a while as well, and we do share Zonta International's mission to empower women and girls in our community through the different service projects that we do, advocacy, and we do education and awareness campaigns as well.
Such an amazing mission and doing great work. I can certainly understand what would have attracted you to this organization, but it's not the only organization that advocates on behalf of women and families in town. So how did you get involved initially with Zonta?
Well, I wanted to expand into the community, and I've always had a history of volunteering and helping women and girls. I have a long history of coaching, coaching sports teams, as well as tutoring and just, mentoring young women. And so when I was interested in volunteering more in the community, I was kind of looking around trying to figure out where my talents would fit in with an organization, and I heard the name Zonta, decided to check it out. I mean, it's an unusual name.
Uh-huh.
Right? I went to, some of their events. I went to a few of their business meetings, and I was just really impressed with the members that I met. I was impressed with their passion. Also, looking around the room, there were so many women in that room that I had heard their names or seen them locally. We have members that reach all aspects of this valley and volunteer and are part of so many organizations in this valley. And so between that, the members' passion, and also just the fact that I could get involved right away. I could be a member, and the next day I could go out and do something that I felt like would actually make a difference right then and there. And so that was a big draw for me, to be able to make a difference and make an impact right away. I was just really excited to see what I could do.
That's beautiful. Nicole Miller is the president of SCVi Charter Schools School Board, as well as the president of Zonta Club of Santa Clarita Valley. Nicole, you sound like a true servant leader, someone who serves through leadership, leads through service. But you're a busy mom, and life is busy. So what you said you were kind of pursuing this type of activity in the community. Why was this important for you? Why is it so important for you to stay so involved?
Well, over the years, I've really thought a lot about community and what it means to be part of a community. I think that we are all an important part of the community, each one of us. I think that we're all responsible for our community. We're responsible for the successes, and we're, responsible for addressing any challenges we face. I think, I really believe that if we support one another, if we're kind to one another, if we work together, that we can all rise together as a community. And leadership in the community is important because hopefully, as a leader, I can inspire others. I can know their strengths and be kind. We can work together. We talk about, even at SCVi, having a superpower, right? I mean, We all have a superpower. We all have our strengths. We have gifts. We have abilities. We have our superpowers. And there's room for all of us to use those superpowers when we feel encouraged to do so. And when we use our gifts, for the collective good, I feel like we can empower one another, we can empower our community, and we can, all rise as a community together.
Well, Nicole, you talk about empowerment. I know when you were installed back in June as president, you chose your theme, Empowerment Begins from Within. So first of all, what's the idea behind the president of Zonta choosing a theme for the year? And then why did you choose this theme, Empowerment Begins from Within?
Yeah, the theme is something that even at the international level, the Zonta International president, who, side note, is also a member of our club, the current Zonta International president, hails from the SCV,
nice.
Dr. Sharon Langenbeck. So that's pretty cool. But the president's theme is meant to be a direction for the year.
Okay.
It's supposed to be inspiring. It's supposed to be encouraging. It's a way to kind of refocus and, point the ship in the direction you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're all devoted to service, as you can see. You'll notice that almost all of our members are involved in a number of other nonprofit organizations, as I already mentioned. And, I chose Empowerment Begins from Within because I thought, we can't empower anyone else until we empower ourselves first. You can't give empowerment to someone. You have to be empowered and kind of lead the way and be able to model that empowerment and give someone the tools that they need to empower themselves. So when I say empowerment begins from within, empowerment begins from within yourself, within each individual, and then would grow to, in our club, for example, each committee. It would grow to our club, and then it would grow to the community.
Wow, and it just filters up that way. That is fantastic. We're talking to Nicole Miller, president of Zonta Santa Clarita and the SCVi School Board. When we get back, you'll hear about an exciting event that Zonta is putting on that's coming up and how you can get involved. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themain-newhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
No doubt about it, LA is an awesome place to live. But even while living in the land of beaches and mountains, it's safe to say that we could all use a real vacation right about now. One where you don't have to stop for gas, cook your own meals, or strip your own sheets. Lucky for us, Princess Cruises has a port right here in LA. Now, for a limited time, LA residents can sail with Princess from just $89 per day to the beaches of Mexico, the tropics of Hawaii, or cruise along the California coast without getting stuck in traffic. That's right, just $89 per day. And while these great destinations aren't going anywhere, these deals won't be around forever. So visit princess.com, call 1-800-PRINCESS, or contact your travel advisor to book your cruise today. Set sail with LA's cruise line, Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Promotional pricing ends November 30th, 2021. Ships are Bermudan and British registry. Before booking, consult the CDC website at www.cdc.gov.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and we are joined this morning by President of Zonta Club of Santa Clarita and the SCVi School Board, by the way, Nicole Miller. Nicole, again, thank you for joining us this morning. So I mentioned before we went to the break that you guys have got an event coming up. You've got an event called Women in Film Celebration. Can you tell us a bit about Women in Film?
Yes, absolutely. We have our inaugural event, which is, Zonta Presents Women in Film Celebration and Conference featuring LunaFest. It's our newest service and advocacy project. It's designed to improve educational and career opportunities for women in the Santa Clarita Valley. So the advocacy piece of it features our celebration and the LunaFest screening, which is on this upcoming Thursday, October 14th. We're going to be celebrating the successes of local women by recognizing and honoring nominated local women leaders that are in the film industry.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have an evening soiree celebration from 5 to 7 on the rooftop of the parking structure in Old Town Newhall, right down there by you.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to be escorted down to the Lemley Theater for Zonta's it's actually our 10th anniversary screening of the LunaFest films, which are 7 short films made by and about women. And that'll be from about 7 to 9. So we have a kind of a whole evening of celebrating and screening of the film.
Well, perfect. So you guys are going to start out on the rooftop there as an outdoor celebration of women in film. Nicole, I'm looking at the weather report right now, and you guys could not have picked a better day. The weather's going to start to clear up. It's going to be a clear evening, cool but not cold. It's going to be a perfect evening for an event like that. And then you said you guys are walking downstairs to view LunaFest at the Lemley Theater. Very cool. Brand new theater in town. How awesome. So right here in downtown Newhall, Nicole, how do people get tickets?
People can get tickets by going to our website, which is scvzonta.org, so scvzonta.org. There's information there all about everything that we do, as well as there's links to get tickets. And I didn't address yet the conference piece of it. The conference piece is going to take place on Saturday, October 16th. That's our service to the community. It's a free conference from 9 a.m. to noon, and it's going to be at the COC University Center. And the purpose of the conference is to help women get in and get ahead in the industry. We're going to have 2 panel discussions. One is going to be getting into the industry. One's going to be getting ahead in the industry. And then we're also going to have a keynote speaker on women helping women in the industry. And again, there's information about the conference on our website as well. Last I checked, we were at full capacity and serving a wait list for the conference, but I do know that we recently were letting in some people off our wait list. So if you're interested in the conference, go ahead and sign up on our website, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you at the conference as well.
That is so cool. So Thursday night, you guys have got the celebration honoring women in film, like you said, the soiree, rooftop outdoor soiree, followed by LunaFest, the airing of these films, and then Saturday you're going to be out at COC with this conference helping women get into the film industry. That's amazing. So
yes,
why is this focus on women in film important? Why is this something that you guys decided that you were going to get behind this year?
Well, in researching this, I mean, like I said, we've been screening LunaFest for 10 years now. It's our 10th anniversary screening. But in thinking about how we could be of greater service to the community in this area, in doing our research, we realized about half of the filming in LA County takes place in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Yeah.
And many of, the SCV film industry companies are owned, operated, or managed by women. Zonta wants to try to make entry and success into this local economic engine, easier for women by fostering connections and access to information about educational and training opportunities. There are so many powerful, amazing women in the industry, but not enough. And they want to share with other women how to get into that industry and to get ahead and to really, to really support other women in the industry.
It's really interesting. Women have been portrayed in film and participating in film since the very inception. But it is really interesting. There have been some studies over the last few decades about kind of the take on women in film. What I'm talking about is, Gina Davis has gotten closely involved in this, and Alison Bechdel actually noticed this back in the early 80s, that even though women have been portrayed and been involved closely in films typically revolved around men and men's issues. That even when men weren't on screen, the female characters were talking about men. And so this is something that's been a real push to get women's representation and women's issues out there more prominently on film. Nicole, I'm looking at a list of some of the sponsors here for the event. You guys are really well supported with this event here. You've got a lot of some of the city's kind of most prominent organizations. I know KHTS is a sponsor of the Women in Film conference that you guys have got going on. You're sponsored by Catherine Barger, the city of Santa Clarita, of course. Gosh, scrolling through some of Lemley Theater, obviously, Wolf Creek Restaurant, VIA, the Valley Industry Association. Some of the most prominent voices here in the Santa Clarita Valley. So why is this type of community important? It's got to be huge for you guys. Why is this type of community support so important to Zonta's cause?
Yeah, we are just thrilled to have so much support for this cause in the community. I mean, as you mentioned, LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger's on there. I mean, we have support from the city of Santa Clarita, the chamber, the Santa Clarita Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
We have, so many individuals. We have industry companies that are supporting this, local businesses, of course, our media sponsors, of which, KHTS has always been super supportive of what we do. All of these community partners that come together to support these programs, everyone's focused on improving the lives of local women. We really believe that collaborating and partnering with organizations in SCV makes us stronger. If we work together, it's like what I said before, if we work together, we can collectively make a greater impact on our community. And when people like yourself that visit the website and you see the types of sponsors that we have on there and you see the types of partners that we have, I think it makes people think, hey, I know that person or I know that company, or if they're supporting this, then this is something that I want to be a part of as well. We couldn't do any of this without our sponsors and without our supporters. So, obviously, thank you to all our sponsors, our donors, our partners, our supporters. We are so thrilled and so appreciative to have you be a part of what we're doing.
Absolutely. Feel bad about not mentioning the ones that we didn't mention, but there's so many. Go to scvzonta.org and you can see all the different organizations supporting this event. You can get more information on tickets. You guys are supported by Barbara Cochran. I noticed Amelia Earhart Fellows. Nicole, did you realize that Amelia Earhart was a Zonta member as well?
Yes, she is. That's why we have an Amelia Earhart Award, which we have two Amelia Earhart Fellows as members of our club. One is the current Zonta International president. Amelia Earhart is one of the kind of most prominent celebrities that was a Zonta member.
That is really
cool. You'll see her everywhere in the Zonta world.
That is very cool. So I know you're working really hard to promote and advance the cause of women, and that starts out early on. You guys reach into and closely work with a related club, the Z Club. Can you tell us a little bit about Z Club and who can get involved and how?
Yes. Z Clubs, I'm super excited to talk about Z Clubs. Z Clubs are clubs for kids on secondary school campuses or in a community. It doesn't have to be at a school. But the Z Clubs are sponsored and mentored by a local Zonta club. And the reason that it's in a secondary school versus saying high school, for example, is because, Zonta International is an international organization. Secondary school is how those schools are referred to around the world. Z Clubs do exist around the world. So the purpose of a Z Club is to help high school students develop, leadership skills and encourage their members to participate in their community, participate in their school and international service projects. Currently, we do have one Z Club officially at Golden Valley High School. There are 3 other schools, at least at this point, in the SCV that we're working on developing a Z Club. And, if any student would like to start a Z Club, please reach out to us. Go to our website. You can contact us. We would love to be able to, expand our mission to more women and girls in this valley. But any student can participate in a Z Club. And there's also a thing called a Golden Z Club. So the Golden Z Club is a similar idea, but it would exist on a college or university level. And we do have a Golden Z Club in development as well here in our valley.
That's great.
So, we're really working on expanding our reach and our impact in the valley.
Fantastic. So you guys have got this Women in Film celebration and conference coming up this next Thursday, October 14th, and Saturday, October 16th. Nicole, have you guys got any other events coming up or anything else you'd like to share about Zonta?
Well, of course we do. In fact, tomorrow at 10 a.m., we have a free virtual Life Forward workshop that's going to be about communication and relationship skills. And then later on this month, October 25th at 6 p.m., we're actually collaborating with the I-5 Freedom Network to host a virtual, what we call Empower Hour. And this is to raise awareness of human trafficking. And then in early November, November 9th at 6, we're going to host a roundtable discussion. This will be the first in a series of an advocacy series that we're doing. This first roundtable discussion is going to be about PTSD, specifically focusing on PTSD for women in the military or former, or veterans. And that's going to be at Mimi's Cafe or on Zoom. It's a hybrid event. And we have events all the time. We have advocacy events all the time, and we constantly have awareness campaigns. So for any of those, you can go to our website, scvzonta.org. There are links to our social media sites. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. And frequently, if you can't attend something in person or on Zoom, we will record it, show it live on Facebook. And then the recording will be there to be able to view afterwards as well.
Again, go to scvzonta.org for more information. Nicole, your website is beautiful and really easy to navigate. And so, folks can get more information about all these different events that you've discussed this morning. Nicole, I don't know if you've heard the show before, but our final break every week, my mom makes me bring my mean big brother in, and he quizzes us on trivia and stuff like that. Do you like trivia, Nicole?
I do.
Oh, well, cool. You want to stick around and play with us?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you stick around too. You can play along at home as well. This is SCVi and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. We will be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
The City of Santa Clarita invites you to the grand opening of the new Canyon Country Community Center on Saturday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon on the corner of Soledad Canyon Road and Sierra Highway. Explore the new community center, watch live entertainment, learn about program opportunities, and have fun at this free event. For more information, visit santa-clarita.com. That's santa-clarita.com. We'll see you on Saturday, October 30th.
There are times when nothing else will do because you know exactly what you want. You want the Alamo, the taste of true Mexican cooking at its best. At Alamo, you're treated to a taste that is truly Mexican with an atmosphere to match. Enjoy a Cadillac margarita, try a mucho burrito, or sizzling fajitas. Voted the best Mexican food in the SCV and a favorite of former supervisor Mike Antonovich. Alamo Rotisserie in Granary Square, serving Santa Clarita for over 30 years.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
The Fear is calling at Six Flags Magic Mountain's Frightfest, presented by Snickers. Select nights now through October 31st. Face your fears at Frightfest with 24 terror-filled nights, featuring 2 new spine-tingling scare zones, 2 new shows guaranteed to make your blood run cold, plus the return of your favorite haunted mazes. Take your fear for a ride through the darkness on the most terrifying collection of bone-chilling coasters. There is nowhere to hide, and the screams never die. The Fear is calling. Beware the unnerving terrors lurking in the shadows. Visit hometownstation.com or listen to KHTS to win your tickets to Six Flags Fright Fest, plus free fright passes. Want to face your fears? Get frightfully good deals on tickets, memberships, and season passes when you visit sixflags.com today. Six Flags Fright Fest. Details at sixflags.com.
It's time to enhance your natural beauty at Hestia Medical Spa. Select from a large menu of services, including an assortment of fillers that can be used in the face, lips, hands, and a variety of other body parts. Get rid of that double chin with Kybella, an injectable treatment to permanently destroy fat cells under the chin. Hestia Medical Spa also offers Botox, Dysport, and Xeomin to help reduce severe frown lines. Experience rejuvenation at Hestia Medical Spa, located on Valencia Boulevard next to City Hall. Call 753-3434 or go online to hestiamedicalspa.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station,